Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kol Haloyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule over the flock. Stumbling on my words today. And Shalom and salutation to all you brothers out here that's pushing the words of truth and sincerity. And we're getting right into it. We're in some hectic times. We're in times that are going to need deliverance from the evil. Ecclesiastes 12:1, it says, remember the Lord thy creator in the days of thy youth, before the evil days draw nigh. We understand that there's going to be a serious evil to come upon this land, Babylon, Mystery Babylon, also known as America. Alright, this is the place in which the sticks are coming back together. The valley of dry bones, where Ezekiel 37, all the dry bones are coming back together, being the sinews upon the bones. They're starting to wake up. And now Esau has a major problem. He has war on the front, and he has in his spiritual warfare, he's starting to lose ground. All right, his accusatory nature, the scripture says he is the accuser of thy brethren. His accusatory nature is falling upon his head. The Lord said he shall fall into the pit which he dug. So we understand that Esau, the so-called white man, is not going to have many avenues to run out of this thing. He can't wiggle his way out of this one. The truth is out. Most importantly, the younger generation, who is the most influential, their star athletes, their favorite entertainers, their favorite basketball players and artists are starting to speak this Hebrew Israelite thing. I remember a point in time when my favorite basketball player was Allen Iverson, and when Allen Iverson got braids, I got braids. When he put out a sneaker, I got it. When he wore his clothes a certain way, I did it. And that's how the power of influence goes. And so now this word going out is being spread so much by his prophets, his true prophets and teachers and in the body, that this man cannot deny anymore that the influences that we're having, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone, going into all these camps, the influence that we're actually having upon celebrities and upon people of more influence is starting to weigh down. And the pressure of keeping people locked up and trapped mentally is wearing down as we speak. So Esau is going to become desperate, and desperate times will call for desperate measures. He's going to push and force out his RFID chip one way or another, even if it's a last resort option to push it out at the time. His hands is going to be tied because of all of this turning back that's going on as far as Israelites, as far as the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans waking up. The last thing he needs is for the whole nation of Israel to wake up in captivity, while he's been teaching us the whole time we was black, Spanish. The Great Awakening. And so to be frustrated in this time, you can't let that overcome you. To be depressed and devastated in this time, don't let that overcome you. Be prayed up. Show up fashionably early to the Lord's return, because he is returning. He speaks of his return like a thief in the night and says, watch therefore, for you know what, not what hour the Lord doth return. So a lot of this truth, the fun of it, and I do mean the fun of it. I see a cherry in the sky too as well. Oh yeah, it's a bright red one. Let me see what. I do not know if y'all can see that, but it's not coming out too clear. Yeah, it's a nice big boy out there. Kol Haloyim Yahweh Shmi Yahushai. Hey, the weather is right. The season is right. It's gonna be a great time of evil, of darkness, of plagues, you know. But just to be in the presence of the Lord and under the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, knowing the names before these evil times come now, we understand it. This is mercy. This is grace. This is what it feels like to have a power ruling over you, giving you, feeding you life, feeding you wisdom, promoting goodness, giving you strength of mind, giving you peace, giving you the right mentality. And then on top of that, showing you that your enemy is being weakened, that your people are being strengthened by the word. The scripture says, Ezekiel 37, prophesy to these bones and say, you shall live. It went from seeing the people who had no remembrance of who they are, and now the average so-called Negro understands, or has a basic understanding, that the so-called black people in America are the real Jews. The sinews, the breath is going back into them based on prophecy, solely on prophecy. And we can rejoice at that. We can be happy at that. We can marvel at that. We can appreciate that. It's the little joy that the Most High sees fit to give us in a world so sick and dark like this, like Babylon. All right, so I'm not gonna make this video long. Just another comforting consolation for those who's in weariness of the flesh and of the mind. For those, another call to action. When you come into this truth, the best thing you can do is apply. You'll learn. As long as you're willing to learn and you give it air, and you really concentrate on the fact that you're learning something new, which means you got to break down the old, which means that old man is going to be an adversary to your learning process. Your own self will get in the way of your learning process. Whether you kind of hear certain things and don't hear everything, whether you just act tired or your flesh starts to make you weary on purpose so that you can't get this. Just beware of all of the spiritual blocks, the spiritual demonic forces out here that brothers is referring to, brothers are talking about. I can see it again. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's like a single. Anyways, the Lord willing, video is edifying. Till next time, Shalom.